Welcome to the Uzziah Show. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome. I'm excited because tonight is part 2 of Are Boss Babes Good for Black Culture? If you missed part 1, you missed out. Tonight is going down. I need y'all to leave me y'all's comments. I promised y'all I would be back on here Sunday night, okay? So for those of you joining for the very first time, welcome. My name is Uzziah. I'm a professional business consultant, and my job is to help people get out of debt so they can start their own business. And one of the things that I have noticed within the culture is that there are a lot of new entrepreneurs on the scene, many of whom call themselves bosses. Now, I said on the Friday broadcast, there's nothing wrong with starting your own business. That's my job to help you do it. But I'm asking, is the boss babe mentality good for Black culture? Because it's not just about being good in business. There's an entire identity that comes along with it. I need y'all chiming in on this, man. All of y'all that was on here Friday, make sure that y'all bring that same energy tonight. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Make sure that y'all share this broadcast. make sure that you let people know that this is going on right now live, because I'm going to open up the floor right now to give y'all the cam up link. I want to hear y'all's point of view. Are boss babes good for the culture? Now, as we wait for everybody to get on, I don't want nobody to miss out. I said on the Friday broadcast that I'm speaking to a specific type of woman when I say boss babe. A boss babe is a woman who is very bold and authoritative, and she uses the guise of being career oriented as an excuse to be overbearing. I have no problem with you having a college degree, you having some kind of high paying occupation. But what I do find problematic is whenever you adopt masculine energy, all in the name of being professional, but thinking that that's going to help you land a marriage. I'm challenging whether or not having masculine energy as a woman is going to be a working strategy for the future of Black marriage. I want to get y'all's thoughts. Okay, we got Shemaya in the house. Shout out to Shemaya, flight attendant Maya. My sister is here. My sister is here. Okay. Happy to see you on as always. Shout out to Ariel. She's in the house. Listen, man, I told y'all when it comes to Ariel, yeah, she knows how to take care of business, but she also knows how to honor her husband. She does not allow her corporate background to play a part in her stepping out of her role within the marriage. What I'm saying is there's a subset of women who are preaching a narrative that you should be independent, you don't need no man, you're a boss, you're a this, you're a that, you're a queen, you're a go-getter. And because of which, that then creates an excuse to act belligerent towards others. If you make money and you still embrace your femininity, hey, shout out to you. I'm talking specifically about those who use their career success as a means of having a more aggressive mentality. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, I want to share with y'all a couple audio clips. I want to walk y'all through how I thought about this as a topic. Like I said, last week, I was watching two different broadcasts. There was one broadcast going on with Brittany Renner and Fresh and Fit, and there was another broadcast on Lapeef Let's Talk. I'm going to first bring y'all into the broadcast from Brittany Renner so that y'all can understand where I'm coming from. Let me know your comments below. What are your thoughts on the boss babes? I see all of y'all are saying hello, letting me know that you're here, but I need y'all's commentary. Listen, this is not about to be one of them broadcasts where it's you gotta have something to say. Whatever it is that you gotta say, say it. Say it with your chest. Shemaya, Ariel, Cecil, whoever is on, man and woman, whoever is on, I want to hear y'all's commentary. Now, before I play this clip, how many of you know who Brittany Renner is? For those of you who don't, Brittany Renner is a famous Instagram model who has built a following around sleeping with high-profile athletes. And as she's talked about getting with all these different athletes, she's encouraged women to pursue their own independence. She talks about making the most out of your look so that way you can pull dudes, how basketball players are dumb, you could get a check out of them. Now she is a single mother living life on her own, but tells other women what they should be doing. I'm going to let y'all hear this. I want you to listen to this with your own ears. I'm not going to put no words in her mouth. I'm going to let y'all be the judge. This is what I'm talking about when I speak on the subject of boss babes.
Never relinquish your independence for a relationship. Follow your dreams, not your boyfriend. A man is not a financial plan. Always have your own things. I honestly feel like
now, before we get into it, we got to talk about that. She said at the very beginning of this,
don't ever relinquish your independence for a relationship.
Okay, now let me put myself back on the screen in full. This is where the problem begins. Oftentimes, boss babes, they want the benefits of a traditional marriage, but they want to enter it from a different position. What I mean is, women want a man who can provide, who's a leader, who is dominant, but yet in that man's independence, there is no dependence that's being preached for the woman to the man. So what happens is you can end up getting two masculine roles in one house, and now they're butting heads on who's going to run the show. Oftentimes, boss babes will say, nobody will run the show. Everything is 50-50. That's just how I want it. But the problem is that what most men would go along with? Is that behavior what most high-performing men will tolerate? Nope. You might get that out of your average man that you can dominate, but for the type of men that you say that you want, that are out here hustling, making six figures, have the ability for you to stay at home, what is it that they want, and are you supplying that? I'm going to go back to the clip.
Follow your dreams, not your boyfriend. A man is not a financial plan. Always have your own things. I honestly feel like since this situation, I don't think, even if I was married, I can't see myself not having my own house outside of the main house. Like, I would just have to have my own space.
Now, did you hear that? She said, even if I was married, I don't see myself not having my own house. Now, come on, ladies, I want to get y'all's commentary. Is this not a part of the boss babe mentality? Because, see, the boss babe mentality, you want to be able to live life on your own terms while still taking on the role of a boss. Listen, what you do in your business is one thing. But see, the problem is people, they don't turn on and off like a light switch. So if you go into a business thinking, okay, I got to run everything, I got to control everything, everything is mine, you can enter into a relationship or attempt to enter into a relationship and then wonder why you're not getting a strong man that knows how to make strong decisions. All the time, I'll have women that'll hit me up and be like, Uzziah, my husband, I wish that he would make more decisions for the family. And as I counsel these different couples in marriage, I always have to tell them about the energy that they project. When I'm having conversations about this, y'all, the reason why I'm talking about this is you can do what you want. I'm not telling you how to be. I'm challenging whether or not this is actually going to be an effective strategy. If Black women right now are only married out of a 1/4 ratio, is adopting the boss mindset really beneficial to make progress? You want to make more money and you want to have more independence, but is that going to position you to be happy within a marriage? I want to get y'all's thoughts. If you have a difference of opinion, hop on the camera. Man, I should have been on there earlier Friday, because Ariel, you see what's happening? Friday, everybody chiming in. Yeah, man, I'm a woman and I'm a boss and I'm, running the thing, but I still want a man. And now I told y'all, get back on here. Give me y'all's commentary. Where are y'all at? I need to get y'all's commentary, y'all. Ariel says, that is so out of control, or rather, that is too in control. With a mindset like that, she shouldn't be surprised when men don't take her seriously in relationships or want to marry her. Thank you, Donna Don, for being back on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can finally get this thing going. Now, Donna Don asks a very important question. I'm still a boss, ... and want a man. What's wrong with that? I don't think that there's anything wrong with being a business owner. What I'm asking is, why is it so important that all of our sisters have to call themselves a boss? Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Hear me loud and clear. I've been running my own company for the past 10 years. I retired from corporate America at 26. I own over $1 million worth of real estate. How many times have y'all seen me get on this broadcast and lead with, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, I'm a boss? Y'all don't even hear me say that, but you literally know that based upon my position. The reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because our language matters. The reason why so many women will even call themselves a boss or a queen, because it represents a language surrounding empowerment. Now, my thing is, regardless of what you call yourself, you can do you. But once you now bring a man into the equation and you say, I want a leader, I want him to be a dominator. Sometimes, all the time, I'll hear women say, men are too intimidated by me. Well, if we are using language that suggests I'm running the show, what do we expect out of the man? You're going to attract the kind of man that will coincide with that energy. And like I said on Friday, this may not specifically be the case with Donna Don. However, in general, I've heard this being said by a lot of sisters, and I'm just asking you the question, is this good for Black culture? If only 1 out of 4 Black women will get married in their lifetime, is this a model that's going to help? Brittany Renner, for those of y'all that don't know, she has a lot of influence within the culture. So as she speaks to a lot of younger women and saying, oh, never rely on a man. A man is not your financial plan. Even if you get married, have a house to yourself. Do you not think that that's going to cause conflicts in the marriage? Do you not think that a lot of men can see that from a mile away and are turned off? Y'all got to let me know what y'all think on this topic, man. Real quick, please do me a favor, y'all. Smash that like button. Tonight we're talking about, are boss babes good for Black culture? I want to know what y'all think. I'm going to put my line in the sand now and say, no, I don't think it is good. I think that it is a very short-sighted strategy that some women use because they do come from a background where their father might have been absent. They may have dealt with low-caliber men in the past who didn't have much to offer. And as a result, there was some amount of programming that they received that says, you've got to do it on your own. You got to stand on your own too. Never rely on a man for anything. but on some level, it's destructive. I'm not saying that there's any problem with having having intelligence. My wife, very intelligent, corporate superstar. However, when it comes to the household, she doesn't use her career as a bargaining chip to try to run the family. And that's the problem I see. The problem that I see is just like with Brittany Renner. Notice again what she said. We're going to play it one more again. We're going to play it one more again, okay? Make sure that y'all super chat also, okay? Brittany Renner just said this on this broadcast.
Don't ever relinquish your independence for a relationship.
Don't ever relinquish your independence for a relationship, meaning always be in control. Always have, your own thing. So that way, if you know what hits the fan, then you're all good. But if you enter into a relationship with that mentality, what kind of guy is going to go along with it? And this is the reason why, again, I speak about masculinity, because a lot of men are the ones that would try to go into a marriage with a prenup. And oftentimes women would tell them, well, why are you wanting a prenup, as though you're already thinking that the relationship is not going to work out in the first place. If you go into your relationship, ladies, having a chip on your shoulder, like, oh yeah, you the man and you cool, but I'm gonna do me over here, what is that going to project about your character? How is that going to affect how you are viewed? And all I'm saying is, it would be one thing if our sisters had a 100% success rate in marriage. But for our sisters to be the least married women among all cultures in the world, how do we possibly believe in good faith that this is a viable long-term strategy to the evolution of the Black culture? How do we think that if our sisters adopt this, this is going to create future generations of Black marriages, Black love? How is it going to happen? It's just a question, y'all. It's an honest and it's a genuine question. I make it make sense. That's the reason why I'm giving y'all the link to Cam Up. It's in the comments below. Cam Up, give me your feedback. And shout out to my sister Pecloria in the house. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Your sponsorship really goes a long way. Y'all, what do I always tell y'all? If y'all want to see the show on air, please donate. Your donations is what keeps the channel going. Y'all see I got me a little backdrop going now, right? Do y'all see that?
Nope.
Y'all see your boy got, the banner at the top. I'm trying to do some things with my life, y'all. I'm trying to be the type of man that sisters say that they can appreciate. And even though your boy is happily married, I'm just now giving y'all my thoughts on this topic. Are boss babes good for Black culture? I'm looking around because I need to start bringing some water on this broadcast. But anyway, shout out to Nicole P. I see you in the house. Nicole P., I would love to hear your thoughts and perspective. Are boss babes good for Black culture? And you know what, ladies? Can I keep it a buck with y'all? A lot of y'all are giving me y'all's comments, and I'm with that. Shout out to you. But the one comment I'm not getting is a yes or no. Are boss babes good for the Black culture? Yes or
nope.
Y'all tell me. I'm a man. I'm just giving you my perspective. As I wait on y'all's comments, I'm going to start reading some of them right now. Now, Donna Don says, I typically don't say anything about work when I meet men. I'm a woman first. I'm someone's wife eventually, the Lord willing. You know what, Donna Don? I would love to cam up with you because I want to be able to have a conversation more to see your perspective. There's only so much I can get through text. And sometimes words can get lost in translation, right? So for those of y'all that are looking to cam up, feel free to cam up. I'm also looking for y'all to even prove me wrong. I want to get y'all's feedback. I want to get y'all's thoughts, okay? And shout out to the lovely Ariel who then gave me some bottled water. A brother was a little parched over here. I just want to be able to get y'all's thoughts. Donna Don says, let me get this comment first. A lot of women say that. I totally agree with you. I had to learn. Most of us need to be taught, period. Now, here's the question, Donna Don. Who's going to teach you? Are ladies who call themselves boss babes willing to learn? Now, let me give you an example. I watched another broadcast on Lapeef Let's Talk. Shout out to Lapeef and his whole crew over there. I was on their show a few weeks back. And on the last episode that they had this past Thursday, I was just so blown away and taken aback by all of the drama and the contention. Listen to this.
The truth of the matter, Kay, women oftentimes feel more comfortable coming at men any kind of way.
No, but the question,
because they're not subject to violence. They're not subject to that threat at all.
I get it.
Now, just notice what was said. Rilla says women typically feel more comfortable coming at a man any kind of way. This goes back to that aggressive, masculine posture I was talking about. Now, ladies, I'm being very fair. A lot of y'all may get on this and think, oh, man, here's another one. He's bashing all women. He's a misogynist. That's not what this is about. Nope. At all. Ladies, I love the sisters just like I love the brothers. And I said on the last broadcast, it's not just boss babes that's bad for Black culture. Weak men are bad for Black culture too. Y'all will co-sign with me on that. But then when I start talking about these boss babes, you end up feeling some kind of way. Y'all already know I got blowback just from doing a show like this. And the only reason I did a part 2 is because y'all acted like y'all wanted to talk about it. Y'all acted like y'all was going to be on Sunday. Y'all acted like you was there for the smoke. Even if you agree or disagree, leave me a comment below. Now, again, when Rilla said women will kind of approach men in a more aggressive way, what he's saying is, see, men understand certain boundaries. A lot of men, especially in person, because sometimes when everything happens digitally, people get a little bit more comfortable. When two men are seeing each other face to face, there's a line drawn of respect and boundaries, because you know if you cross that line, you might get knocked out. But oftentimes with a lot of dialogues between men and women, it will be a lot more conflicting because men don't or are not, they should not hit women. I'll put it like that. You know, some men, I can't speak for what men do. That's not me and how I get down. But men should not hit women. But because of which, it creates a barrier from time to time where women will say things that if a man said to another man, these would be fighting words. So notice what Rilla says.
Well, here's the truth of the matter, Kay. Women oftentimes feel more comfortable coming at men any kind of way.
No, but the question,
because they're not subject to violence. They're not subject to that threat at all.
I get it, but the
men already understand. Hold on, okay, let me answer your question.
No, because you're trying to turn it all around.
Hey, you can't, wait a minute, listen, ma'am.
Now, do you notice how in this dialogue, Rilla cannot say 5 words without being interrupted? If this was a man talking to another man in person, this would lead to physical conflict. But for any of y'all that have ever watched this show, shout out to the Lapeef Network. Y'all know that this is just another day. This is just how Kay rolls. So I'm asking the question, if 1 out of 4 Black women only get married in their lifetime, only 1 out of 4 will ever see marriage, is this kind of behavior specifically good for Black culture? If we create a movement where we say, I'm independent, I'm self-employed, I don't need anybody, I've got my own money, I've got my own house, F you, is that type of behavior actually going to strengthen our legacy? Understand this right now, ladies. 60% of all Black children are born in single parent households. So how is this combative type of energy going to be beneficial in marriage? See, oftentimes it seems that we conflate professionalism with rudeness. You do not have to be overbearing and dominant in order to be professional. In fact, I know multiple women, very successful, who are very friendly, agreeable, people persons in general, but they don't use the, well, I'm strong and I'm independent as a crutch to now just do anybody any kind of a way. And I'm not even talking about men, because if we really keep it at a buck, what is the most violent relationship within the culture? The most violent relationship within the culture is women getting together with other women. Statistics already show those have the most domestic cases. Statistically, they are the ones that are most off to fight each other because it's of a very combative nature. So I'm just asking a question. If we keep fighting each other all day, how is that ever going to lead to anyone's success? Let's play it again.
Well, here's the truth of the matter, Kay. Women oftentimes feel more comfortable coming at men any kind of way.
But the question,
because they're not subject to violence. They're not subject to that threat at all.
I get it, but the
men already understand. Hold on, Kay, let me answer your question.
No, because you're trying to turn it all around.
Hey, you can't, wait a minute.
Now, as I pause, I'm going to pause that, and I'm going to speak in conjunction with this comment right here. Support Black women. Fight for their place in the professional setting. Fight for the Black woman's place in the world, no matter what. My issue is, what are the implications of no matter what? Here's an example. If me and my wife lie together, right? And we have a child. If she, for whatever reason, blocks me from being a part of my child's life, is this still a behavior that I should support no matter what? If I'm at a job and the hardest person that's, stopping me from advancing my career is a sister who's trying to put me down, is that part of the no matter what that I should support? See, this is the problem, ladies. I, as a Black man, I want to support you, but I believe wholeheartedly that Black men and women should only be supported under specific circumstances. I am not of the mind, because how would y'all talk about me like a dog if I said support black men no matter what, if those black men were going upside your head? How badly would y'all talk about me if I knew that black men were abusing other women? And I say, well, you know what? Support that man because the black man needs his place no matter what. No. In situations like that, where this man is very destructive, if I'm being beneficial to the culture, I'm not to support him at all. Nope. Or we could continue down this narrative where no matter what people do, no matter what people say, still keep to prop them up. And I believe that's a big reason why the world has so many problems in general. Is because when it's time to speak up about the problems that we witness, instead of holding people accountable, we'll make excuse after excuse as to why people should still do their thing. This is the reason why a lot of times in our community, people might have been touched as children. Then when you try to say something about it, oh, that's just an uncle. You know, everything is all good. You know, he loves you. That's an example of giving that uncle place no matter what. I am nothing but supportive of my sister. I've been married to a black woman for the past 10 years. But my question is, should I support that woman or any woman if they are projecting an energy that is destructive for progress? Just keeping it a buck. Some of y'all want me to be simps out here and say, nope, no matter what they do, save her. But you know what they say? Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. That's not me, man. That's just not me. But see, this is the problem. The problem is you're getting the perspective of a black man that owns over $1 million in real estate, and you still don't realize this is the mindset of those kind of men. The mindset of men who actually have some measurable level of success, they are not going to go along with anything. They're not going to tolerate any kind of behavior. They're not going to put up with any kind of emotional abuse. So in order for us to truly thrive, y'all, we gotta hold each other accountable. Donna Don said, you can't log in the StreamYard. The link isn't working. Is anybody else trying to do that? And for whatever reason, it's not working. I'm going to give you all the link once again to cam up. If that's the case, I'm going to cut StreamYard out. I need y'all on. This is definitely a hot topic. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. Ladies, do you understand my perspective on this comment? Support black women. Fight for their place in the professional setting. Fight for black women's place in the world no matter what. If we're being honest, first, in order for me to do that, I have to agree with you on what the black woman's place is. Okay, if somebody comes in the room, right, and they say, hey, I want you to save my place. My first question is, save your place on what? Save your place on being in the room, on where you are in the room, the seat that you want to have. What specifically are you talking about? And that's the reason why I'm saying when it comes to this discussion, there's no problem with showing. And see, here's another problem though. Can I keep it a buck? Can I keep it a buck, ladies? Can I keep it a buck? Part of the problem is a lot of the ladies who post this actually forget the fact that their role is to be the support system, not the other way around. Listen to what I'm saying clearly. Under a traditional model, the man is the provider. He's going to furnish a lifestyle where you are already being taken care of. For that man to be able to uphold what he's furnished for you, you have to support him. If a brother's going out, working his 9-to-5 job, are you providing him with good food? This is a form of support. If the man comes home from the 9-to-5 job, he's tired, he's stressed out, are you focused on being that man's peace? This is a form of support. But the problem is in adopting masculine energy. Many women now say, well, I'm the provider. I make my own money, which is the reason why I need to be the support, not thinking about supporting someone else. And all I'm trying to say is you are entitled to think what you want to think, but you will be subject to the results. You're going to be subject to the statistics of only 1 out of 4 Black women get married in their lifetime. And among the ones that do, the average Black marriage only lasts for 5 years. My brother Minnesota E is on. Shout out to you. How you feeling, King?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. How you feeling, Art?
I'm feeling great. What's your thoughts on this topic?
Hey, like you say, hot topic. Hot topic.
Indeed. How do you feel about the Boss Babes? Are Boss Babes good for Black culture?
When I saw the title of the class pop up, I was actually given. I was actually in my class on the church. I said, "Boss Babies." Boss Babes. That's right. That should be EJ's favorite show. But in this whole Boss Babe, of course, you know, I'm a bad B, right? I can do bad by myself attitude. Of course, it's not good for the culture. Of course, it's not good for the nation, for our people. Of course, because of many reasons, you know. You just listed some, you know, how many marriages fail, or how many women don't get married, you know, with that type of attitude, in the way that they move. So of course it's not when we see the results.
Right. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. I'm over here just thinking about this comment. Donna Don said, I would talk bad about you if you support Black men being abusive to their family. Now, see, here's the thing. When sisters talk about supporting Black women, right? Part of that support means I have to not support another Black man if he's being destructive to a Black woman. Would you agree? So if that's true, then how does the tables turn when it comes to a Black woman being destructive to a Black man? See, everybody loves the man that's willing to hop in front of the bullet to save the woman. But what about the times in which there's a man that'll catch a case on the strength of something that the woman has done? We have constantly had accountability for men's shortcomings. But why is it that we get ourselves to a place where we say, well, you know what? Let's just support no matter what. How do you feel about this, E? Support our sisters no matter what. Do you believe that we should? Do you believe that we should support Black women? Let's start there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's ill, you know, to say support Black women no matter what. But I'll answer the question first. Should we support Black women? Absolutely. If they are doing things that are just and good, right? If they aren't being destructive toward themselves, and of course toward so-called Black men, right? And they aren't doing or saying anything that is negative toward us as a people, right? Now, again, if you're doing things that are good, right, and you know you're speaking things that are good, that are pleasant, of course you have, you know, a good cause, then yeah, we'll support, absolutely. But if you are, you know, being demeaning, being destructive, and You want support? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't happen that way.
Can I hop in real quick? I want somebody to cam up if they share a different perspective. Now, for those of y'all, if you still want to cam up, feel free to cam up, even if you do agree. But specifically for any of y'all that are out here, let me know how y'all feel on this topic, because we want to have this conversation. As you can see, we got black men that are showing up. They're on the panel and they're willing to look out for our ladies, but not under the banner of no matter what, not under the banner of you could be rude, disrespectful, bold, flat out evil. And then, you just blindly overlook the whole thing, because this is how you end up getting a lot of effeminate men in the first place. Oh man, you know what this is about to turn into. Do you know what's about to go down right now, brother Minnesota E?
Who just chimed in? Who's in the studio?
Man, I got a man who I know best as my brother. My brother of all brothers, our brother, Roy the Chef. Let's give a shout out to the brother, Roy the Chef. Here we go. Roy the Chef, how you feeling, my guy?
Everything's healthy, my good brother. Everything's healthy. Everything. Yo, man, you got you one tonight, brother. You got you one tonight, brother.
Okay, if we got
I was supposed to be watching Power right now, man. But
real quick,
you got you one tonight, brother.
If we got us one tonight, y'all, please make sure that y'all smash that like button, and most importantly, make sure that y'all tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box. Since we got us one, make sure that you support this broadcast on the super chat. And even if you watch this broadcast after the live stream is over, you can still donate. All you got to do is click the links in the description below. Now, okay, here, look at Donna Don. Look at Donna Don showing out. She's Donna Don say, Donna Don, you got to cam up. You got to cam up, Donna Don.
Come on
no,
now.
Donna Don says, come on now, black women need support. Okay, here's what I want you to do, Donna Don. Leave me a comment and respond with the support that black women need. Again, now we got to start to define that. When statements are being made about, okay, give black women their place, support them no matter what does that mean? Okay, let's have the conversation. My brother Roy the Chef, what do you think about tonight's topic?
Yo, man, I'm going to just get right into it. I think it's a topic much needed. I think it's a topic that is birthed right out of Willie Lynchism in a way. But I want to speak specifically to the matter at hand. It said, when I saw Donna Don post, and no, I come in peace. I'm not trying to, bang on nobody in the comment section or like that. But when I saw support them no matter what, I'm like, yo, so like, what about the sisters who's bugged out? Like, support the ratchet sister, the sister that just, unruly, just speaks however, does whatever, do whatever, say whatever, acts however, don't correct it. See, a lot of times what happens when you deal with black women as a topic, subject matter is already sensitive. And when you add correction to it, they take correction oftentimes. Now, when I say they, generally, black women, when you add correction or corrective ways to your personal vantage point with our sisters, they take it as an attack, and the response is always a defensive one. Even if you bigging them up, it's like, right. Yo, black women are great. I've been married to a black woman all my life, and my mama's a black woman, and everything is. I love black women. But sisters probably just need to relax a little bit. What you gotta go? What you doing against the sisters? It's like there's a hypersensitivity when you are just, and I don't want to say constructing, When you're strengthening, when you're building up your sister. I mean,
Yes.
nothing is perfect. I mean, you can look at the greatest work of art and find something wrong with it and be like, that Madonna picture is beautiful, but I wonder what it looked like had she been smiling. Like,
Right.
that doesn't take away from it being beautiful, but oh man, they rolling in. Oh man,
They sliding.
we're in taxi.
It's going down, man. It is
We're in
going
taxi.
down in a major way, y'all. Y'all are on the Uzziah show. Tonight we're talking about boss babes. We get a little bit of echo in the background. Some of this mute some of y'all line real quick. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Make sure that y'all share this broadcast. I want more people to get on the broadcast. I'm waiting for Shiloh to get on the broadcast. If Ariel wasn't so pregnant, I'd be having her on the broadcast. What do y'all think about this topic? Now, we do got the sister Donna Don on, and we've got the lovely flight attendant Maya in the house. Shout out to the flight attendant Maya. My sister is in the house. Sister Donna Don, I'm about to give you the floor in just a second. My brother Roy, the chef. Was there anything that you wanted to mention before we give our sister Donna Don the floor?
Oh, shoot, man, the sister's on. Nah, I got very little to say. I just want to hear these responses. My only point, what I was making was, you know, when being constructive against sisters, it shouldn't be viewed as an attack. And I think generally speaking, that's what happens. If anytime there's an order, when you mention order being in place, it then
Yes.
becomes an attack on me as a woman and what I've established for myself. It's not to take away from nothing that you're doing. It's just there's a specific order of how things need to go, I think, at the exact same time. But
All
that's
right.
all I have. Let me hear the sisters,
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yes.
I can I'm gonna jump that. All right, word. I mean my mic.
Let's talk about it. Claudia, get your talking points ready. For those of y'all that don't know, Claudia is the wife of Roy the chef. I'm curious about her comments on this topic. Man, I would love for her to cam up. Roy the chef, where did you go, my brother? Stay on here. We need to see y'all's faces. I want to see brothers' reactions as our sisters are giving their talk. My sis Donna Don, so good to see you on. Shout out to you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. What do I feel about it? Honestly, it's bad for the culture. I I've experienced it, and honestly, the way that I was taught, it was a man who taught me. So he said, "Listen, you can't be that way. It's a man like me likes this type of woman, and any man would like this type of woman. So you can't be as aggressive as you." And I'm like, "Well, these are the things that happened to me in my past, and these are the bad relationships I was in." And he was like, "I get that, but if you want a man, you need to be this way." So I go to my brother, my blood brother, and I ask him. He was like, "Listen, no, sister, if you want to be married, you need to be this way." So for me, I mean, I was that no black women need to, we're the best. And I was on all that until I was like, wait a minute, I'm lonely. And so a man that I was dating at the time was like, no, if you want to be with someone, you want to have this family that you have this whole vision board, you have everything planned. If you want that, you need to change. And then I understood it when it came from a man. And I'm not saying, oh, because if I say this to some of my friends, they're like, girl, what are you talking about? Black power, women power, that type of thing. But I'm like, gosh, he made a valid point that yes, if here, this is coming from a man that I actually like, I need to change, and so that's all I wanted to say.
So shout out to my brother Shiloh, boot soldiers in the house, y'all. I don't know where Roll went, but listen, man, we got another one up to bat. Shiloh, good to see you on, my brother. I'm gonna bring Donna Don. I'm gonna bring a little bit closer. I'm gonna bring a little bit closer to me on the screen, y'all. I want my ladies at the top because I'm gonna talk to them specifically. All right. Shout out to the sisters. Now, Donna Don, I'm rocking with you. You made a comment. You said, come on now, black women need support. What is the support that black women need? And then I'm going to have Shiloh give you his thoughts on that.
Okay, so Black women, we definitely need support. For example, right now, I'm trying to, purchase. I'm trying to make moves, and if I need someone by my side, the same way I would be by someone's side. And if I don't have that support, sometimes it's very challenging being a Black woman and trying to make the moves that I'm making. If I have that support, listen, you got it. Keep going. Don't give up. That helps me push forward. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to overtake a man, but yeah, of course we need that support. What do you mean? That we need that. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. So now, Shiloh, how do you feel about that? Shemaya, you're up next.
All right. Shalom, everybody. What's good? How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. Good to see you, my brother.
I don't think women really need our support like that. You got all the support you need. Your support comes from the government, the WIC, the food stamps, and all this other stuff. You got your support. Your job, my job is not to support you. Your job is to support me. So why am I going to step back from my job and support you? Now I can protect you. And a lot of times I need to protect you from yourself, but you won't even help support me in protecting you from yourself. It becomes an issue. What do you really want? Do you want a leader or do you want a support system?
Can I have both?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I have both? Can I have a support system?
It depends on
a leader
what.
And a support, or is that too much?
Yeah, it's too much to ask.
Oh, okay.
It's too much to ask, especially in the way women want it. You want your cake and eat it too. It's not gonna go like that. Within me being a leader, I'm leading you the direction that I believe that our family or whatever needs to go. My direction in me supporting you can lead me off of the direction that the family wants to go or the family needs to go. I mean, me supporting you in your dreams, what you want to do, does it align with the vision of the household, the community, your nation? Does it align with that? If it aligns with that, then you'll have the support later on down the line once you have, built up the order and the structure and following the leader. If we need those things, say you're going to be a doctor, right? We need those in the community. So if you're going to be a doctor, me as the leader, seeing that, okay, this is something that we could use. Are you really diligent in your duties? Or is this something you're just playing around with? If you're diligent in your duties, you know what you're doing, okay, I can support that, and other people will support that. I'll be I'll go, but don't think you're gonna get if my house lacking, you're gonna get the support.
Now, real quick, Sister Shemaya, what do you think about what Shiloh just said? He said Black women don't need support. You already get support as is. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with him 100%. I'm not really here to say the opposite of what you're saying. I was just going to chime in and just kind of add to the conversation. But I definitely agree with what he said.
Okay, so what were you going to chime in on, our lovely sister? You see, I like Donna Don and y'all both, because Donna Don, she here for it. She got time for this. So stay with me, Donna Don. I'm coming back to you. Say, Shemaya, what were your thoughts on this topic? And then Brother E, I'm about to come back around your way, sir.
So I was basically just gonna say that first, yes, I do think that it's bad for Black culture. Where I think that part of the breakdown kind of comes in, because I've definitely somewhat have been in that space of kind of having like an independent type of thinking. Not because I ever did not want a man. I always wanted a man. But just, I guess, a quick story of my life. So when I was 21, I got pregnant with my daughter. And, so I'm 21, I left college. I have this baby now, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, like, where do I go from here, right? And so I kind of adapted this mindset of just, trying to better myself, trying to, come up in the world, trying to elevate financially and, emotionally, because there was some emotional damage there as well, and spiritually as well. And so I think that, if a lot of our people are kind of walking around with the victim type of mindset, or if you're thinking about our women, are walking around with this victim type of mindset the way that I was, then we kind of, take this up on our shoulders to want to do better with ourselves, to want to have this, to want to have that. I know for me, like I said, I was never really in that space of being like this independent woman that doesn't need a man. But I remember being in this space of no man will want me until I have it together. And so I think that part of the breakdown in our community is you have these women who do have this independent mindset, but then you also have women like myself who are trying to better ourselves so that no man would look at us as an asset. I'm not in that space, or as a liability, and I'm not in that space anymore, I'm really comfortable with where I'm at, right? But I would call it a phase. I went through that phase, but it wasn't because I didn't want a man. It's because I didn't think that any guy of value, or any guy that I would be, happy to introduce to my dad, I didn't think that any good man would want me. And so I really, really worked on myself financially and emotionally, and even spiritually. I learned about the truth 4 years ago, so that happened. And so I'm in a different place now. That was it.
I think that's some great perspective. Shout out to you for your commentary on that. My brother E, what do you think about Shiloh's comment about our Black women don't need support? They're already getting enough support as is.
And I believe bro mentioned what do you say, government?
Right, like government,
Government
welfare,
support.
WIC, those things. Now, I know what Donna Don, the boss, is over there saying. The boss. The boss is saying, Negro, I ain't on no welfare. No, I don't need no WIC. Like, that ain't even for me. So, what do you think about the idea that Black women don't need support because they're already getting enough support as is?
With that, I really don't have anything too deep to say about that. I'll agree with Shiloh in saying that, yes, many of our sisters do have that type of support regarding governmental support with the welfare, the Section 8, the WIC, etc., etc. And that type of woman, you understand, who would rather have that type of support rather than a man's support. That's a different type of woman. That's a different type of sister right there. But I do also agree with the part where he said, now, if a woman, for example, has aspirations, dreams, goals of being a doctor, for example, right? We need doctors within our community. We need doctors who look like us, right? If she's serious about becoming a doctor, right? If she wants to do something so good as becoming a doctor and helping her people, right? Then of course we're going to support that. You have all the backing, all the support for that. So in general, if women, like Shiloh was mentioning, follow, or who was it that was mentioned? Was it Ro? Follow the hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
We know that there's a hierarchy. We know who's at the top, right? We know that the man is the head of the household. Then you have the woman. As long as we keep that order, right, and we play our parts, we play our roles, then we wouldn't be having these issues, right? We probably wouldn't even be, Uzi, you wouldn't even be broadcasting this class, right?
That's a
If
good
we
point.
stay within the order.
That's a good point, and I think you said it right there when you say if we stay within the order. Real quick, y'all, I want to give a quick shout out. We got a $25 Cash App sponsorship going on right now, so I want to acknowledge that. Shout out to Paige for the $25 Cash App. Let's give her a round of applause, y'all. Let's make sure y'all continue to donate to this broadcast. If y'all want us to continue having healthy conversations like this, please make sure that you keep the show on air. You know, conversations like this don't happen everywhere. And so I want to make sure that we do what we can to keep this thing going. Now, taking this thing back to Donna Don. You know, sis, I think, you know how a lot of times a lot of women say, oh, well, it's the man's delivery and how they put it. I believe that that applies to women also, because I think the way that you word it, it gets a certain response from men because it still comes across like the man is going to take the back seat. For example, when you said, well, what I mean by support is there's certain moves that I'm trying to make, and I'm looking for the man to be by my side as I make those moves. Before I unpack that, I want to just ask you a quick question. At some point in your life, would you like to get married?
Of course. Yeah.
So with that in mind, if you're married to a strong, handsome, assertive leader, that man is going to have his own sense of direction. There's a vision that that man is going to have for the household, in which case is going to transition from you independently making your own moves to then you now operating in support to the man's overall vision by seeing how you can be a productive part of the family. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. My wife, college educated, we both graduated from the same school. And my wife, you know, she's very smart, especially in different professional settings. I've told my wife in different cases, I didn't just get you to just be the, you know, cook and clean type woman. If I was just looking for that only, I probably would have gone to somebody else. So I made it very known to her from the gate, listen, I'm looking to build. And I knew that she would be my right support system to help make that happen. But see, part of her support is actually her leveraging her mind to support my business as well as her own ventures. So, for example, when my wife works in corporate as an engineer, she'll come to me to get advice on how to present her resume. You know, for some of y'all that been on this channel for some time, y'all know that I've given a lot of content for people on how to get a better job in 90 days. I used to be a campus recruiting manager. I know a lot about the hiring process. And so even in those instances where I'm showing this to my wife, I wouldn't define it as I'm supporting her, but rather I'm assisting her because her efforts are a part of my vision. You see, like there's still moves that's being made from her perspective, but it's not from the perspective of, oh, okay, I'm out front, I'm bossing it. It's from the perspective of I sat down with a man who shares my values, and as a result, when we come together, we're able to move in the same direction on the same page. And if there was ever a time in which there were moves that she wanted to make, but it was contrary to the overall vision of the family, that's not something that I would assist with. because it's not about any one individual. It's about us as a collective. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. I think your heart is in the right place in terms of what you're saying, but I think in terms of the how it's being said, men will look at it as, oh no, she want to be out front.
Nope.
And so what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and that's a good point. It could be the delivery and what I'm saying. And I guess what I mean is exactly that. When right now I'm single. So these moves that I make, of course, I'm thinking of it solo, but I don't have any children as of yet, and I'm not married as of yet. So that's the mindset that I have. But as I, look to find a mate, or they look to find me as well, so we come together, hopefully, my hope is that we're on the same page and he's someone I can follow because we have the same mindset, or not even the same mindset. We have the same goal or the same mission. So when I talk, it's just from me being in a single space, not having any children or, any of that yet. You know what I mean? So I hear what
I'm
you're saying. Maybe I need to change that up. And I agree.
I'm happy that you just talked about the no kids part, because I definitely was about to ask you that. How old are you?
So I'm in my late 30s. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah. hmm
Okay. See, there's no problem with that. Just asking questions. And you never know who tunes into the Uzziah show. There may be certain brothers that's on the market that may have interest. So, the reason why I think that this is such an important discussion is because one of the questions that comes to my mind, Donna, is even in your independence while being single, do you think that it would be of benefit to have goals from the position of being a future wife in marriage? Like, a lot of times, sisters will say things like, well, if, I'm this way right now, but if the right man came along, then I would be this kind of person. But my question is, do you think that there would actually be benefit from kind of stepping in the role before you're there? You know what I mean? A lot of our sisters are very strong in being career oriented, so they understand that application from a business sense. They understand a lot of times when they tell y'all to do these interviews, they say, already kind of act like you're in the position, dress like you're in the position, already play the role. So what about when it comes to marriage? Is it beneficial for a woman to play her role of marriage, even if she's not in the marriage yet? Real quick before I bring you back in, Donna Don, Shiloh, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they need to be playing the role ahead of time if they want to be found. If you consider yourself that a ruby, then why don't you shine like a ruby instead of shining like a cubic zirconium?
Now,
but
real quick,
go ahead.
Real quick, I'm gonna let you back in. You said so, shout out to Shiloh. If they want to be found, my sister Donna Don, what city do you live in? Maybe too personal. What state?
California.
You live in California. Okay, shout out to the West. Now, I'm from California, Donna Don, and I know women in California are not hard to find. If we keeping it a buck, women are not. In fact, where I'm from, the city of LA, one of the things that LA is known for is good weather and beautiful women. And so I just take this back to what Shiloh says, and I want you to speak more on that, King. Talk more about what it means to be found. Shout out to my sister Sheer Queen for the $5 super chat. Listen, y'all, let's continue to donate. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Tonight we're talking, are boss babes good for Black culture? Y'all see, ladies, you have an opportunity to share your thoughts on this. Cam up, Sheer Queen. You know I want to see you on. Thank you for the super chat. However, Shiloh, what you got?
Well, I'm reading the title. As the title is, I think you're missing two words. Of the needs to be in between boss and babes, because that's the position of the woman. You're the boss of the babes in the order of things. You're trying to take the boss of the, almost like in a real job. You have there's levels of the bosses in the workforce. You might have, yes sir, that's me, that's daddy, the boss. Now now in the level of the workforce, you have some people who will take their boss position and try to run it to the fullest as they can. They acting like they're the owners of the company, but you were just hired to manage the employees. Play your position. You're the boss of the babes. Either you're going to work with that, or you can't be the boss of, you can't be the owner of the company. Right. Now with the goals and being able to be found, what exactly are you looking for in marriage? What type of leader are you positioning yourself to be following? You want to follow a man who, like in Uzziah is a runner like that, does all this stuff. You need to show yourself, that I can be in this type of business. This is the type of man I want. This is where I need to be found at. He needs to find me doing this type of work. So that way he can see, okay, she already aligns with where I'm trying to go. She is showing that she wants to help build my kingdom up. And these are the assets. This is what she's bringing to the table to help build my kingdom up. Do you want a survival man? If you want a survival man, then you need to show yourself in that, if that's what you want. Are you practicing growing a garden? Are you practicing, the cooking from scratch and all this stuff ahead of time? So that way, that man, he can see you doing this stuff. Those people stick out like sore thumbs. Right. Everywhere, no matter what you are, when you're being, it's kind of like an oddball. If everybody else making microwave food, you don't think the one who is making stuff from scratch with all the pots and pans out everywhere, cleaning as they go on, they're gonna be looked at different. You can spot them. You can spot them from the boxes that's on the countertop. Which one are you going to be? Which one do you want to be? And if that's what you really want, you need to start adjusting and looking at those positions now and what is going to be in that position, and then prepare yourself for what's going to come from that leader. You're only going off of what you can assume, but once you get underneath that regime, are you really ready for what's going to come from that?
Now that was a bar. Okay, Shemaiah, did you hear that? Listen good, Shemaiah. Shiloh said, you can get that leader, but once you get under that man's regime, are you ready to handle that? Now, man, I wish Claudia, I wish Nicole P was on here. Y'all know Nicole P, she be real shy. She leaving y'all sisters hanging. Minnesota E, we got to work on that with Nicole P, man. Make sure that you bring that up on the next phone conversation that you have with Roy the Chef, as he calls me his little brother. When we talk about this thing on Boss Babes, right? Can you get under a man's regime? Because one of the things that I often call my household, Shemaiah, is I call this the boot camp. So when my wife is here on a day-to-day basis, you're going to get all the perks and benefits that comes with this lifestyle. But it's going to be a lot of work. And see, I don't know about y'all, but I know there's a lot of women in general who feel, well, part of the reason why they want a man that makes money and has his own place is because of the fact that they feel like they'll be able to reap the benefits of a certain privilege, nice house, nice environment, vacations, dining at beautiful restaurants, and all of that's real good. but can you deal with the day-to-day stress of what that man requires of you? Shiloh knows this very well. He mentioned the survival brother. That's him. He knows I'm the business brother. So yeah, I'll take you on a cruise and I'll show you some of the finer things. But on the day to day, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to work in the house. You're going to have to work very hard to be able to support what it is that I've worked so hard to build. So, Shamaya, and this is going to go to you too, Donna Don. I want to know what questions y'all have for us as men. You know, I don't think that it's every day that we have panels quite like this. So I just want to encourage you to make the most of the opportunity while you have the access. Right now, what questions do you have, especially on the subject of marriage? Because we're all married men. Questions about support. What does that look like? Let me know y'all's questions. And maybe, Shamaya, as you're thinking about a question, I don't know if you have one right now or not, but just in case you don't, what do you think about what I talked about when it comes to the work aspect behind being under a man's regime?
I don't disagree with anything that was said. I definitely think that being a wife is a lot of work. I wouldn't think any less.
Facts.
Something I've been saying recently is, I hate trophy wives. Trophy wives make it look like that homemakers don't even exist anymore.
Mm,
So yeah, I mean, I like I said, I agree with everything. I don't really have any questions right now at the moment.
now's your time, Maya. Now's your time.
I don't really have any questions, and in my
Okay.
defense, I had sessions with you, and so I've asked you questions directly, and so honestly, I really don't have any right now.
Absolutely. Now, shout out to Shamaya, because I will give her props. She has had multiple sessions with me, and Shamaya, I'm sure you could comment that those sessions have been very productive. So that's the reason why she's just tuning in and just being nice and prim and proper, and that's all good. So we're gonna put Donna Don back on the spot. For anybody that's gonna come on this broadcast and help Donna Don out, make sure that you click the link below. All right, I want y'all to cam up. Please donate. Let's keep this show flowing, y'all. All right, no answers are bad answers. We're just having a talk. Now, Donna, what questions you got? Come on, Donna. You in California. It's 3 married men on this panel. What
Yeah.
questions do you have for us about marriage and just this overall topic?
I don't know because I just don't know. I don't have any questions. I
Nope.
guess as you guys talk. Uh-oh.
Ariel, can you
Uh-oh.
get my cat, please? Things are feeling very capital over here. Very, very, very Watch as soon as I get off this broadcast. Shamaya gonna ask me a question. Watch as soon as I get off this broadcast, I'm gonna get a phone call from Roy the chef, and Nicole P is gonna be in the background asking me questions on what I think. Ladies, what questions do y'all have? See, and I want y'all Black women to notice this. See, this is a platform. No Black women have been called out of their name. No Black women have been degraded. That's not what we're about. We're actually trying to give positive solutions for our sisters to level up, because listen, y'all, here's the perspective that I'm coming from. Oftentimes life is about relationships and people working together. So if we keep going through a mindset, shout out to Ariel, she did bring my lovely LA Raiders cap. Shout out to you sisters that act like you have no questions. We listen, ladies, this life was not built for you to do it by yourself. You are not supposed to be out here on your own. So my thing is, well, cam up, Sheer Queen, if you can play devil's advocate. Come play it then. You see, Donna's here. Shamaya just want to be in the corner looking cute. We need sisters to start asking these hard-hitting questions. You see, Shiloh's here ready to answer them. What do y'all have? Listen, ladies, I did this broadcast because I definitely feel that there's so much more potential that we could have as a culture. However, if we're constantly working against each other and doing things that are counterproductive, we're only going to make the next generation that much harder, guys. Okay. So when I pose, go ahead.
Sorry. I have a
So,
question.
okay, great. What you got?
Okay, so my question would be, so I want to be a homemaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, what percentage of of well, let's see, I'm not really sure how to ask it, but we live in a very modern time, right? And we live in a time where most households are two incomes, right?
Yeah.
We also live in a time where, well, I guess now it's becoming more prevalent that men are pushing for more feminine women and they're asking for it. So my question would be, if I want to be a homemaker, how important is it that I bring in money versus staying at home, if that makes sense? Like, how, because I understand, people want this rich man, whatever. Most of us are going to be in average households, right? Most of us will never see 100K, right? So let's just be real. So let's just say that, I'm with the man that's making $50,000 a year. Let's just say that. How important is it that I make money to him, right? So that together, let's say we can make $100,000 versus me being a homemaker and being at home and wanting to homeschool and wanting to cook all the meals and wanting to meal plan and do all those things, right? So between the three of you, like, what would you say? Like, how would you want to see your wife balance that? I guess if that.
Okay. Yes, good question. And shout out to Sheer Queen. Sheer Queen is in the house, y'all.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you on, my sister. For those of y'all that are on, make sure that y'all smash that like button. I've got my cap on for any of our ladies who want a cap. Tonight we're talking about, are boss babes good for Black culture? Donna Don ran away real quick. Hopefully she'll be back on. She here. Yeah, do your thing, Donna. I'm with you. So, yeah, Shamaya, I think that really depends on the man that you would be in that particular marriage with. Like, there's some men that make 50,000 and they still want a woman to play an extremely traditional role. They want the woman to be at the house, not focus on any producing any income. He wants to keep things very traditional. But then you have some men who may make 50,000 that may want the woman to be able to go out and make something. I think is very specific to the type of man that you deal with. And I think that's the reason why it's so important to be able to have those kind of conversations prior to marriage. I think that not only does it depend upon the type of man that you deal with, but it also depends on you as well. Because let's say that there is a man that makes $50,000 a year. If that man makes $50,000 a year, can you settle for that level of lifestyle if he doesn't want you to work? Like, are you cool with that? Nope. That's something that you got to take into account also. And if you're not cool with that, then that's a conversation that you need to have before you guys get married. Brother Shiloh, you got something on that? After you brothers are done, I'm gonna bring Sheer into the house. I'm curious as to what she's got to say.
Well, I agree. I agree, with what you're saying, and that's very important. When she brought up, the $100,000, I'm like, okay, well, what is the $100,000 for? What do you need $100,000 for? Can you live? Because even though people say it's traditional times, I'm not one who, and Uzziah knows me, I'm not one who feels like I need to have $100,000 to live off of. If they did it and lived and thrived without all that before, then it can still be done now. It don't matter what year it is. Yeah, it matters what are you willing to put into it. Right. There are people who didn't have $50,000, but they still were able to provide and feed their family. They didn't go to the stores to get furniture; they made their furniture. They had the know-how to do certain things to compensate for what the so-say money would buy in that traditional time, or to have the new things. And even if you have that type of man, are you, once again, as the woman, are you willing to go through what could be a trial period? You have to show me that you're, how can I say it? You want to do stuff outside the house, you need to show me you can handle the stuff inside the house first. If you can't handle the stuff inside the house, then I'm not going to support anything outside the house. You might not, you have to show me if you talking about you want to be a homemaker, well, then be the homemaker. You shouldn't be worried about nothing else outside the home.
And I think that's a bar. Shiloh, you going for that MVP spot tonight and in terms of your points on this broadcast, man. One thing that Shiloh said that just stuck out to me right there is, when we talk about masculine energy, I think a part of that is finding more comfort outside of the house, working, rather than being inside of the house, taking on household roles. So very good point. My brother Elijah, do you have anything on that? Back to what Shemaiah said. A man makes $50,000 a year. Shemaiah is wondering, hey, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be with the man that has the biggest bag in the world.
Nope.
So how should I handle that? What would you say to Shemaiah for marrying the $50,000 man?
Absolutely. All praises. And, I'm that example. Someone mentioned a little while ago that marriage is, it's not easy. You understand? And you need to be able to play your role and play your part. So there are some men who don't make 100K, right? Sis, Shemaiah, panel. So guess what? They require that their wives, their wife, go out and work.
Yeah.
Right. And they are also expected, as our brother Shiloh mentioned, to still keep up the house. Right. And hey, that's what the wife has to do. Those are her duties. Right. The wife must, and I'm going to speak from my perspective, or in my household, the wife must clean. She must cook, provide meals for the household, right? She has a duty of marriage that she has to live by and abide by, right? Just as I do as a husband, right? So all in all, the man is responsible for his responsibilities, his duties. And guess what? So was the woman, right? There's even scripture within the Bible that says that this Proverbs 31 woman, she goes out and helps her household, her husband's household. You understand? So you got to consider all of those factors. All right. But hey, some brothers require that their wife go out, work, and help. And guess what? Once you get back to the house, Red, 2:30, you got it. All right. You got the laundry. You got the cooking. You got EJ. You got Eliana. You got everything else. so that when your husband returns home, everything is everything.
All good commentary. Shout out to the panel. For those that are on, make sure that you smash that like button. Tonight, we're talking about our Boss Babes Good for Black Culture. If you want to see this show continue to grow, please make sure that you donate. Now, we ain't going to rock on this thing all night. I know you all got responsibilities and jobs and all that good stuff. But before our ladies go back to bossing somebody, I want to hear from Sheer Queen. I want to hear what you got for us tonight, Sheer. Rick Judah said that he's on. Shout out to the brother Rick. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't want to be a panelist on this discussion, my brother. But ladies, how do you feel, Sheer? What you got for us on tonight's topic?
Well, I've missed most of it. I've had a little bit to say about a little bit of everything, especially as a single mother. So I have 2 girls and I work full time and I'm working on scaling a business. So I've lived the trying to do everything on my own, based off of living in a very like masculine household. I've lived the being, I'm independent, and I've been with a man that he was like, well, what am I supposed to do if you're doing everything? So I get that perspective. And then after that relationship, I actually, like, God set me down on my butt. I'm like, okay, God, what does it mean to be a woman? Because I had no example of a woman, let alone an actual providing man. So I absolutely love this topic. It's something I've been studying just to help grow myself. And then I also have 2 daughters that I don't want to have to go through what I went through because I didn't know any better. So yeah, I think the whole boss babe, I think we need to change the perspective of it. So right now, boss babe is like, she's hustling, she's working hard, she's getting to this, she's getting to that. I think a true boss babe is one who can balance her masculinity and her femininity. Like, that is true. As you see, my name is Sheer Queens. I'm really into goddess energy, and a goddess, she can balance both. So when her man comes home, she is able to be his peace, provide him for whatever it is that he needs, and also make sure that the house stays in order. In regards to what Brother Elijah was saying, a woman that may have to work and take care of her home. Like, if I can do what I'm doing now, I think I'm fully capable of doing that and having so much gratitude, because this is a struggle. Like, this is not the life of literally full-time 40 hours plus some. And then I'm also a mentor at my job. And then I'm like, okay, this money that's coming in is not enough, but my job is flexible. So now I got to spend another 4 to 6 hours trying to scale my business just to make sure my kids can eat, just to make sure that we can get out of this raggedy apartment, just to make sure that we're staying up to par with the economy. So I can see it from all perspectives. Do you have questions for me? Like, I agree with everything.
I do have questions and I do have thoughts.
Okay.
So, see, Donna Don, you got a partner in crime now. Shout out to Donna Don. Ladies, I love y'all, but see, a part of the problem, and see, this is the reason why them consulting sessions have been so important, Shamaya. You're welcome. A lot of times y'all say things and y'all be thinking that it sounds good, but men will sit back and listen to y'all and be like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Now, what am I saying? A lot of times, ladies, like, for example, what Sheer Queen said. Oh, well, with the queen energy, it's going to balance both masculinity and femininity. We don't want a woman to be masculine. Like, see, the thing that I was telling y'all last Friday was, when you have to go out in this work world and fend for yourself, as a result, you end up adopting masculinity. However, even though that's a byproduct of you having to step into the career world, that's not something that men desire. If I lived in a world, right, where it was constantly imposed on me to be effeminate, I wouldn't expect a woman to be like, oh, yeah, please give me all of that effeminate energy. I would expect for the average woman to still expect me to be in a masculine frame, regardless of what what standards are being placed upon me. Do y'all see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I really like that Sheer Queen is on along with Donna Don, because I think, Donna, you're able to kind of see another example outside of yourself. Two sisters that are looking for Black men while having things going for yourself and having a positive aura. But what is the mindset that successful Black men want? And are there any incongruencies? Now, if the goal is really, okay, you know what? I want to be married. I want a family. I want a certain life. You're responsible for finding out, okay, well, what am I on right now where the type of man that I want, it don't really vibe? Like, it's nothing wrong with wanting success in general. I think that how we go about it as a community makes all the difference. Does that make sense? So, Sheer, Donna, I'm gonna leave the floor on y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about what I just said right there.
I have something to say.
I have something to add too.
Oh, okay. Now we talking. Well, since real quick, Shamaya finally wants to have something to say, Shamaya, the floor is yours. What do you have for us, ma'am?
Yes, I agree with you 100%. So it's not anything. It's not anything that goes against what you're saying. It's just like, I mean, I have a daughter, and I'm not married, and I've done a complete 180 in my life with where it was almost 10 years ago, so, but I guess I'm a woman, right? And I'm emotional, and I'm feeling emotional right now because that journey, you know, I mean, being raised in such a modern society and being raised under the Beyoncés and the Rihannas, and then next thing you know, you're pregnant, right? I have a child. Sheer Queen has 2 children. I don't. Oh, she doesn't have any children, but there are so many Black single mothers out there, and that journey, right, really does a number on us. I mean, by the grace of God, I can sit here as calm as I am, but it wasn't too long ago. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I just want to, even though I don't necessarily agree with the ladies, I sympathize with them because that journey that we go on, to better ourselves, even if it may necessarily be inappropriate, because along that journey, we build up so many masculine tendencies and we don't even realize it. I mean, it's sad, and that's why I'm emotional right now, because it's just sad. And honestly, that's really all I had to say, because I agree with everything that you're saying.
Good point. And really all I'm trying to do is just raise awareness that there's a lot of things that have happened in society, especially to our women, that are rooted in feminist ideals that is contrary to a successful marriage. Whether we talk about these titles like boss, queen, diva, goddess, you name it, a lot of women have adopted it to such an extent now that it's like it creates a power struggle within the house. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, most Black men who want to have marriages, they want to be in a position to give their wife a great life. But now in all of its independence, it's like we kind of force power on the table. So quite naturally, by the time that you get to a man, it's like, okay, well, I've got my own job, I've got my own car, I've got my own house, I'm a boss, I'm a diva, I'm I'm whatever. And for the man, it's like, well, damn, well, what am I then? You see what I'm saying? I'm not looking into this situation to be equal. I'm looking to be the head. And so that's the reason why I just keep stressing this part. But Sheer, I'm gonna let you back in. I saw you had something that you want to say. Donna Don looked like she got something she want to say too. Let me know your thoughts. Ladies, if y'all want to cam up, here's your chance. I'm giving y'all the link to cam up. The slots are almost full. We got the brother Rick Judah in the waiting room. Okay, I'm about to throw him in here as well. Shout out to the brother Rick Judah. The brother Rick Judah is in the house. Sister Sheer, what do you have for us?
So I wanted to clarify when I meant by a woman, sorry, my headphone fell out,
Okay.
by a woman having masculine and feminine energy, because everyone has masculine and feminine energy. That's your testosterone and your estrogen. So for a woman to be balanced, just like a man to be balanced, it's not a 50-50 balance. So say if I was with my husband and my kids and our house caught on fire, I'm not going to be able to get my kids off the top of the bunk bed under feminine energy. My testosterone has to kick in order for me to go and grab them and get them out of the house, while my husband may have to grab the dogs or whatever the case is. So I wanted to clarify that. And that's something that I've been practicing because I am in a masculine energy role to survive and to be able to feed my kids regularly. I force myself to, when I get in the car, to calm down and to tap more into my body. How am I feeling? That's more feminine. Make sure that I'm relaxed, so by the time I get home, I'm not rushing my kids to do everything that they have to do. So I definitely agree with what you're saying, but I think that we miss out on the point that everyone has both masculine and femininity in them. A man that is masculine, he's going to be, say, 85-90% masculine, but he also has a 10%, 15% of feminine. And that's when he's able to cuddle with his wife, actually see that there may be something wrong with him or with her, and vice versa for the woman. So I wanted to clarify that.
Okay, thank you for that. Very good. I want to hear thoughts from the men on the panel. Okay, here we go. We've got ladies, we've got fellas. Fellas, what is your take on what our sister just said? Rick Judah, since you're new on the scene, I'm going to open the floor with you. What do you think about Sheer Queen in mentioning the balance of masculine and feminine energy?
Shalom, everybody. By the way, shout out to the everybody on the panel. Hopefully, everybody's doing all right. Peace be with you. I do, like I said, I do understand. Like, I guess scientifically, everybody has their estrogen and I was gonna say masculine testosterone inside them. There's a certain amount. Obviously, yeah, there should be a balance. But when it comes to men and women, the man's overwhelming majority should be that testosterone, like off top. Like, does not mean we should not have that with the things that show compassion and understanding and patience and kind of, hearing the whole story. But we still need to have an overwhelming amount of testosterone, just like the women need that overwhelming amount of estrogen. So yes, there should be a balance, because what happens with especially a lot of brothers, especially when they come into their madness, that testosterone gets overpowering. And we all seen it, they're like 19 to 24-year-old alpha male stage. I'm the king of the jungle, and men be, everybody's barking all out and all tough, and they don't really know when to turn on that compassion switch, if so to speak. So I believe there definitely should be a balance. But I'll let the other brothers take it out, and then I'll let some more thoughts come to me later.
I'm sorry, man. My wife not gonna like me because she want me to pass this thing around, but I'm gonna just throw my hat in the ring right now. I'm a man. I want absolutely no feminine energy. I want 0% feminine. I want 100% masculine. I want to be able to fully embrace my role as a man while expecting my woman to do the same for her. Now, let me tell y'all something. This, in terms of my perspective, I think that part of the reason why this even becomes a issue and a talking point at all is because masculinity comes with a certain stigma where a man has to be very bold, very authoritative, very aggressive. But I don't always believe that that's reflective of masculine energy. For example, I can also be empathetic. And even though I may not be adversarial towards a person, I'm still within my masculine energy in being empathetic because I'm giving you empathy in a certain way. I don't have to step outside of my masculine frame, even if I need to be compassionate. You know what I mean? Like if I got a brother and a brother is on hard times, I can help to uplift and encourage my brother in a masculine way. And the reason why I'm saying this, and specifically for me, is because I think that this goes in line with a comment that Supreme Creation said, which was, Bashir, we all know that Black women take this masculine energy to the extreme, and oftentimes it's just to be combative. Now, from what we can see with Sheer Queen, and this is my sister, shout out and show some love, I see our sister embrace her femininity. However, just this being my perspective, a lot of times, like when we talk about masculine and feminine energy, it has a way of opening a door for dudes to now get effeminate and it opens a door for men for women to get masculine, because it's like, okay, well, I'm a woman, I'm supposed to have certain masculine energy because that's what I need to provide. I totally understand. When you're out here trying to make it on your own, it's going to harden you. But again, like I was saying with Donna Don, I feel that sometimes, and this is something that Black men have always known, sometimes you think a thought, but putting it out into society, speaking it aloud, it has its consequences. There are times where men don't want to have to get up and work and have to be so strong and domineering. There are times where men go through things, but there are times where we have to suppress that because that's what's required in order for us to play our roles. And so I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to bring it back to the panel. But I just got to say this for me personally. My brother Shiloh, what are your thoughts?
Let me get some real quick before you go.
See, Rick coming now. Here Rick comes.
Yeah.
Rick gonna try to come and clean this up. What you got, Rick?
Yeah. In the case you saying, yeah. Because if it sounded like I'm saying we need to be feminine, I absolutely agree with you 100%. 100%, 0% femininity, no of the effeminate, hell no. So I want to make sure that's clear, because if it did come out that way, no, that's not what I meant. So I want to make that clear, but I agree with you 100%. All right, go ahead.
My brother Shiloh, what you got?
My thoughts be, what do you really want? A lot of times we have to see things for what it is. Most women say they want one thing, but they really don't want it, because when they get that thing, it's an issue. Now, you say you want a man to have balance, and show his feminine side and be able to do all this, but then when the man shows you the feminine side, now all of a sudden you can't look at him like the masculine man that you want him to be. So I'm going to say, I agree with Uzziah. No, I'm not trying to be your feminine shoulder to cry on. I want to be the masculine shoulder. So when you're crying, you're thinking about how big and strong that shoulder is you're crying on. So also with the support, the question for me is, do you really want my support, or do you want your support? Have you asked the man what does he support? Because I could give you examples of things I support, but then when a man supports that, it also can become an issue because now a woman can feel like, well, I didn't want that support. I wanted the support in my job, but that's not what I support. If you want my support, I can give you my support, but it's going to be in the areas that I support. Either you can get with that or not. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Minnesota E.
Hey, like you said, Shiloh going for the goal tonight, man. Speaking real facts. I just want to say, in regard to one of the sister Share Queen's comments earlier, giving the example, you know, with there was a fire in the house or something, and the husband was going to go get the dog. Not laughing at that. And you be going to go get your daughters, and you know that'd be your masculine side kicking in. But I think that would just be your motherly instinct kicking in. You know, it's not about masculinity or femininity when it comes to our children, right? Because I'm sure my wife would be the same. You know, we had a fire. First thing she's thinking about is the children, right? And making sure that they're safe. So I think that, you know, it isn't about masculinity or femininity. It's about your motherly instinct, you know, you being a parent, kicking in. Again, I'm with Uzziah, Shiloh, and Rick. You know, zero femininity, all right, in us as men. I know Share Queen mentioned that, you know, we do have both hormones, testosterone and estrogen, which is true, right? But of course, us as men, we have a majority of testosterone, right? Women, their dominant hormone is estrogen. However, with that being said, all right, us as men cannot act out that 1-2% of estrogen that we have, because that's not who we are, right? That's why we're men, and we have to act out our nature. All right, we are our nature. We are men. So again, dealing with compassion, dealing with, you know, being comforting and all that. Our nature as men, we're able to do that, right? Even with the masculinity that we have, that we possess, right? But we don't need a certain level of estrogen, right? The hormone estrogen to be compassionate, right? To be comforting and caring and all those other things. So yeah, for us as men, I mean, estrogen doesn't play a part in us being men and fulfilling our routine and our everyday life. I mean, I'm like,
Now, the reason why I just wanted to have that panel of men right there is because I wanted you ladies to be able to see how men respond to certain language. You know, what I gather from you ladies is that, you know, you all want to have value, right? And a sense of purpose. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of Black women have adopted a lot of these different titles, be it boss, queen, etc. But I think that there needs to be some evaluating on, okay, how do I have a sense of value in a way that's congruent with the man that I want? How do I make sure that as we dialogue, I'm presented from a place of acceptance versus repellent? And again, every man is different, let's be clear. You know what I mean? So there's different strokes for different folks. But what I'm saying is, I think, you know, when we examine 1 out of 4 Black women being married in their lifetime, as beautiful and as solid as you ladies are, I think it begs the question, how is it that so many Black women are beautiful, attractive, intelligent, etc. But there is still some disconnect when it comes to marriage. And I'm so thankful that we're able to come together as a panel, because I think that some of these things are slowly getting uncovered. Donna, I'm about to bring you in. You've been riding the background for a while now, but I'd be remiss if I did not bring this comment in the surface. As y'all were talking, we got the wildest comment from Blue Lovely. Blue Lovely says, if you black men are so strong, why did you allow slavery? Why did you allow the white man to conquer you? Now, see, I think that this comment right here represents the problem of why I did this topic in general. First, let's break this down. I don't know if I was alive in the 1600s. So to pose the question of why did you allow slavery, the statement implies that I was physically there whenever Caucasians decided to put my ancestors on slave ships. I'm the descendant of those people that were put on slave ships. So I can't speak from the perspective as though I was physically there. Now, if you want to get on a spiritual level, of course, I'm going to talk about how we went into slavery because we transgress against the commandments of God. But going back to the question in general, why did you allow the white man to conquer you? See, what I find so interesting here, ladies, and I don't know what y'all's take is on this, this question also implies that there is an inferiority amongst black men. If you black men are so strong, why did you allow slavery? Why did you allow the white man to conquer you? The question in and of itself implies that there is a weakness amongst black men. There's greater strengths amongst other men. And I think that this speaks to the lack of support that a lot of brothers feel from women of the opposite sex. And this is the reason why I was speaking about earlier. Man's job is to provide. Woman's job is to support. Why would we even get a question like that from our own people? This is the question that I have. This is the question Blue Lovely can cam up. But see, what happens is, I don't know, maybe this is an avatar picture. Maybe this is really her. Who knows? But if this is coming from another black woman, let's just say, right? I think that this represents a big part of the problem on why only 1 out of 4 of our ladies are married, because there's a growing community of women who are now so emboldened, they will either say, I don't need a man, or they will talk about divesting themselves from black men and going strictly to other cultures. And so again, I just had to put that out there because I saw it in the comments section. I know that might have shifted gears a little bit. I know, Shiloh, you want to come up. Donna, I'm still about to come to you. Shemaya, I'm about to come to you. We're going to go Shiloh. We're going to go Shemaya and then Donna, because I still want Donna to bring up whatever thoughts and questions that she had outside of this. Shiloh, what you got for us?
Put me in.
Say it again.
No, go ahead. Say what you was about to say, Rick.
No, I just said put me in after them, coach.
You got it.
The question, if I'm gonna take the question, right, and say, like Uzziah said, okay, as if we were there in slavery times. We weren't in slavery times by ourselves. So the question can be posed back to you. Why did you allow it? Because a lot can be said, where's our support system? We didn't have no backup, because the backup that we supposed to have went with the slave master and still running with the slave master. You still within the system of playing the masculine role and all this other stuff that we got to fight against, you shows that you have left our supportive side, which enables us to stay in this position that we're in. You know, it could be 2 against 1, our way against their way, but it's 2 against 1, their way against the black men. And look, we looking from the window talking about, why is our women over there? Why are our women over there? Asking us why you on the side of the white man asking us, why did we let y'all fail? Why are you failing us? Well, get your ass over here and come help us win.
That was the bar. Keep it going, Shiloh. Don't feel like you got to filter it. Put it out there.
Believe me, I'm filtering it. I'm trying to. It still goes back to the support. Once again, this is the support. If you support black men, then you see it's a black man right here trying to bring the conversation to build us up to a different mindset. So why aren't you supporting that? Support that. We might not have been here, but look what we see has happened from that time. We see that it's time for a change. We see something needs to happen. We see that the road that we're going on only leads off the cliff.
Right.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to support us, or are you going to keep trying to throw, fuel on the fire, or push us closer to the edge?
Right.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
Okay, Donna, I hear you. What you got?
I have a question. So the word support has been tossed around a lot, and I know it looks different to everybody, but there has to be a foundational support. How do we support you?
Well, that's a great. Somebody was about to say something.
I was, but I was gonna go ahead and let you go.
No, you got it. Shout out to the panel.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say, like Uzziah said earlier, it's different for each man, but the baseline should be the same. So, for me, the first thing is, what do you believe in? Where do you get your moral, compass from? If my moral compass is supposed to come from here, all right. So I could go to Titus 2, and show how I need you support me. Let me get it. Titus 2.
Shiloh taking us to church. For any of y'all Sunday Christians, come get your church.
We're gonna go Titus 2, chapter 2, verse 3. The aged women likewise, that she be in behavior as becoming holiness. Support me that way. Support me with your holiness of behavior. Support me by not being a false accuser. Especially lying on your husband, saying your husband doing this and doing that, and he's a lion in the house. Support us by he's not doing this. Support us by not being false accusers. Support us by not giving too much to wine, because we know what happened when a lot of women give too much to wine. They start running their mouth, and now I gotta come and put myself in a position to protect you from yourself, and you might get mad at me for doing that. Support me by being teachers of good things. Support me by being sober and showing the children how you're supposed to love their father. Support me by loving the children and making sure that you're being presenting a peaceful household with a learning environment, a welcoming environment. Support us in those ways. Support us in just simple stuff. Your smile, your feminine wiles. Support us in that way, but know how to use them in the correct ways. Not just to get what you want, but what you want should align with whatever moral ground that the man that you're going to follow is going to be after. Support him in those ways. Support me in being discreet. Support me in being chaste. Support me in being a keeper at home. But many women don't want to support the husband or the man in those ways. That's not the way. They want to go do what they want to do and have their own agendas. Those type of things that I need your support in. Many women today in traditional times feel like that's a form of slavery. Support me in being obedient. To come with the when Sheer Queen brought up the fire, and Brother Elijah brought up the fire in the house. Support when he said, when you go to get your daughters, it's your feminine, your motherly stuff kicking in. support me by being not your motherly stuff to being the training. Because if you were following the leadership, then you should have had training on a fire drill. So what to happen if a fire has happened? So that might be the training that you need to get the children first. I'm going to get the other stuff. Support me in that way. I just had a conversation with this about, it's cold and people are using these heaters, and many people's houses have burned down, down here in Louisiana because of that. And my friend said that their dog, a lady died because she ran in the house to get the dog. And it made me think about, what you're talking about. I said, man, that dog would have been in the house burnt up. That's not what I'm going to get. I'm going to get my guns. While you get the children, I still need to be able to protect and provide. So I'm going to get the stuff that we need to protect and provide. If I got food stored up, hey, and if you want me to really support, I'm going to toss you out the window, and you ain't going to like how I get everybody out the house, So, but support us in those ways. But being aligned with whatever your moral compass is first and foremost. Being aligned with that, and then align yourself with the man that you're under, the leader that you're under, and make sure y'all stuff aligned in that way. Mute my mic.
I think you said it right there, y'all. Who else got something?
That was so beautiful. Thank you for that, Shiloh. I was just gonna say that with reading that woman's comment, it appears to be that it comes from a place of a lot of pain and a lot of confusion, and definitely not making excuses for her. I hate to throw out the stereotype, but I don't know, maybe she's a single mom with multiple children and hates her baby daddy or baby daddies with an S. And it sounds like that came from a personal place of pain, and now she put that on every other Black man.
But see, to me, it's like, this is why things get so funny in the Black community, because it's like, in one breath, there's this hard push for equality, but then in the exact same breath, the question is posed: if you Black men are so strong, why did you allow slavery? So it's like, okay, if we're so equal, why isn't the question posed across the board? Because everybody's equal, right? Equal strength, equal dominance. You taking over. Oh, I know. Once it's time to go to war, then that's when it's expected for the man to take the lead. But why aren't we consistent about that from end to end? You see, let me get some other comments. What y'all got? I saw folks having their hand raised. Who wanted to chime in?
Well, I just want to say that, sorry, was somebody?
Sheer was about to pop in, but Shamaya, go ahead, and while you still on.
Say, and that's why I hopped off of the feminism train really early when I realized that it was hypocritical. That it was very hypocritical in the sense of, you want equal, but then you still want all of this chivalry at the same time. It's like, it didn't make sense. And had I would have went down that journey, it would have reminded me a lot of Christianity, and I just knew that wasn't good for me. So yeah.
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, y'all, I invited Blue Lovely on camera. I'm open to having the conversation. I hope you're not scared, Blue Lovely. I'm trying to find the comment. I said, Blue Lovely, cam up. Okay, so we still got slots. You're more than welcome to cam up. I would love to get your perspective, because if for those of y'all that are divestors, I would like to be able to hear your thoughts. Okay, so feel free to cam up, say it with your chest. Who else is out here? Who else is on? Sheer, you wanted to say something.
Thank you. I wanted to answer your question on why is it at one moment we want to be equal, and then at the other moment we want our men to step up. And I think what we need to get to is the root of the problem, and then realize that we are here now, and just this panel alone shows that we are trying to do better and trying to have unity and, you know, change the narrative. So I know like the answer is confusion. We're confused. Other households, other nations, they train their children how to be. They train their men one way, their boys one way, they train their girls another way. And then there is a I forgot what it's called, but it's like a transitioning period. So you know how the Hispanic culture, they have like this, the quinceañeras, and then in some cultures they have, I can't think of the word, but a lot of the males, like they'll be separated from their mothers for a certain period of time, and then they go out and they train with men. I think us here in in Western culture in the United States, starting like with her comment on us being in slavery and, you know, our transgressions and the stuff that the curse that we're going through right now, that is really the root of our issue. And even with the feminine, so there's femininity, there's feminine energy, and there's feminism. So the women, we try to stay away from the women that think they're better than men, and I can do what men can do, because me, I can't. I don't want to do what men do personally. That's just me. But the feminism trend that happened, and then us women, us Black women, us women of color, started following that trend, because that trend did not start with us. You know, in slavery, we were still with our men, and then even I think it was like World War II, when they took our men out of the households and we had to fend for ourselves. So I think we keep pointing the finger at each other, and it's not. It's right now it is, because we're responsible for ourselves. But in order to be enlightened enough to think, hey, maybe I'm not doing something right. You know, I keep getting the same results. You know, is there anything else that I could be looking towards? Kind of like what I went through. Like I said, God had to knock me down on my butt, and I had to ask the question, what does it mean to be a woman? I was 26, 27 years old. So this was about 3 years ago, at that age, because I was not taught. I just saw, you know, from the women that were in my environment. And I didn't grow up in an environment, like I grew up around different cultures, but primarily I stayed in the house and I went between households. And my mother became a single mother when they were separated. So even then, I didn't really get to see what it meant to be a woman. But I do need to get to bed. I just wanted to kind of plant that there. Like, this is the perfect platform for this. I mean, of course it's business, you know, we still trying to get this paper. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. Of course it's business, but just to see all these beautiful faces coming together, no one arguing, no one calling each other out of their names. Like, this is what we need. And we need to start focusing on how can we change the narrative out of us pointing fingers at each other from things that we can't change. It has already happened, to, okay, what's the next step? What's the next move? Because I truly believe there's a lot of people in our generation that want better. Like, we're tired of being tired. We're tired of fighting each other. Yeah, that's what I have to say. I need some water now.
Hey, shout out to our sister Sheer Queen. Yo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. Thanks as always, sis, for being on. Thanks again for the super chat. This panel was definitely something special, and I can't wait for us to do it again. Have a good night, and I'll see you on the next show, Lord willing. All right, now. All right, y'all. So listen, for all of y'all that are still on with us, tonight we're talking about, are boss babes good for Black culture? I want to know your perspective. Let me know. Smash the like button. Oh, Donna just dipped. I was wanting to know if she had anything in closing, and I would have gave Donna a formal exit, a formal goodbye. Anything else that y'all got while y'all still on? Any last comments?
I do.
Oh yeah. I was gonna touch on something. She said, because she did say something that jumped out at me, and she said she wasn't taught, she wasn't, you know, shown, expressed how to do it, which can kind of ties into the question too. If us black men are so strong, why do we allow slavery? Well, she wasn't taught, because us black men are supposed to be strong. What we did is we try to please the woman, just like, because who does the serpent go to first? Went to Eve. So who does media try to get to? They reach the women, they try to sell the women, push to the women. Then the women are going to bring it to us, because everything on TV, the radio, all that stuff pretty much is witchcraft. And now we're trying to now turn that stuff around. So they brought that foolishness to us. And yes, us black men, if we were so strong, what we would have done, we'd have turned into Job and told y'all, shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. You sound like the foolish woman. But we hearkened to it, took ear to it, and we were defiled by women as a whole. So as a whole, yes, we weren't mentally strong as a nation of people. So now we're trying to change the narrative. So it's time for now y'all to understand that, hey, get back in line, get on the same page with us. As Brother Shiloh said earlier, get in a battle with us, fight with us. But you don't got to actually get out there and physically fight. Get out here, make some ammunition, you know what I'm saying? Fill up our knapsack, you know what I'm saying? Put some food in a, you know, get all our stuff together, support us, get behind us, rock with us, push us. And then the ones that conquered us, then we can turn that thing around and we can rise up and revolt. But we cannot revolt if y'all are on their team. Y'all fighting for them. So stop fighting for the other team. Get on our side, and we can make this thing happen. I had some more on it, but I lost a lot of it because it was a little time. But go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was a real good question whenever Donna Don asked, what does supporting our men look like? You know, I thought that was a really good question to pose, because I feel like that takes many forms. You know, it's one level of support as a woman when you are somebody's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another level of support, you know, when you're a sister / friend in general. You know, I feel, okay, I'm looking forward to it, Donna. I'm looking forward to seeing you back on. You hopped out on us a little abruptly. I think, you know, when you support from a sister level, it's really just about hearing men's perspective. And I think you see this, Shamaya. You know, we've made place to hear yours. And I think as we can continue to have the conversation, identify the disconnects, you know, just helping to create environments where the conversation can be had goes a long way. So, you know, for those of y'all that smash the like button, that share these broadcasts, that's very supportive, because I catch a lot of flack on YouTube, y'all, for doing these types of shows. You know, a lot of y'all have been rocking with me since the channel was called Black Men's Career. And one of the things that y'all notice is I've tried to add in additional kind of content, all because whenever I usually do content like this, it usually gets batted down. So just by you being here, just by you tapping in on the convo is very supportive. So I do thank you, sisters, as well as brothers, for your support on that level. Other thoughts?
Yeah, I do. I think a lot of the issue is with women being content with what they have. There's a song, I don't remember, you know, it's sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. There's also the statement, you know, the grass, people think the grass is green on the other side. And a lot of I feel our people, our women aren't content with the house that they have. They're steadily looking at the grass at somebody else's house, and they're saying how green that grass is over there, instead of helping us to make our grass green over here. It's going to take work. If we know we in a lower state, we know we're in a lower state in this house. It don't mean we can't make it. We can rise up in from this lower state, but you have to be content where you are right now. We're here. We're in it. We can get there, but it's going to take some time, and it's going to take some doing, some effort to do it. Just like you want your grass green, guess what? We're going to have to do every day. Every day we got to get out there. We might have to aerate the ground. We might have to water the ground. We might have to throw seeds down. It's going to be some trial and error. We got to learn this soil because we had a disadvantage. We don't have the same stuff that, you know, the other people have. But are you going to work with me to make our side good? Let's build ours up. Don't keep looking over there, but their eyes is steadily to somebody else's stuff. What are they doing in their house? Why aren't you doing like they're doing over there? Look what they're doing with their woman. Why don't you treat me like this? Or why don't you treat me like that? Why aren't you content with what you have already and work with that? Work with that and help to grow. Once you have, it's like with a child, right? If I'm teaching my son numbers, I got to start off with the basics. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to jump to trigonometry. I'm not going to jump to calculus. You're not ready for that. You have to take the baby steps and go there. We're just at learning the numbers right now, you know, from what I see, because people got an issue with comprehending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you have that down yet? You know, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Bring my mic.
Excellent point. Anything from anybody else? Go ahead. Oh,
I have a question.
okay. Yes, Donna has questions. Good.
Just
Shout out
because,
to Donna, y'all.
you know, a lot has been said. So, what if, maybe I need your guys' help. So, what if you meet, well, for me, what if I meet someone who, I mean, like, how do I want to say this? What if I meet someone who, listen, I'm striving in life, right? And so, is it my job to help a man strive as well? If he comes, what should he come with? Say, for example, I'm coming with more than him, I'll say that. And I don't know that to be true, but you know, what if a woman is coming with more than the man? Does the woman, maybe I should just give an example. For example, I dated a guy
Mhm.
who made less than me, right? And I tried to, and that's okay. Like, I'm not opposed to that, but I tried to accommodate him, right? Because there were certain things that he couldn't do. There was a certain lifestyle that I lived, but his money couldn't provide that certain lifestyle. So I lived the lifestyle that he was able to afford, right? But that meant, because if I wanted to live a higher lifestyle, that meant I had to pay, or that meant that I just couldn't do it. So how do I transition? Because I hear on these panels, and of course I've been watching you for a while, that it's being said that a lot of, you know, African American men only make 50K or 60 or something, you know, and I guess that's the average. I don't really know because of the type of industry I'm in, so the average is different, but it could be less, it could be more. But how do I support a man like that being where I'm at? That's all.
Yeah. So again, I think it's all about choices, right? You have to make a choice about the type of man that, you know, you're pursuing for a marriage. I always speak from the context of marriage because I believe in the institution of marriage. I'm a marriage counselor and I'm a married man. And so I think one thing, Donna, that a lot of our sisters do in error is they try to take a man and turn him into something different. You cannot make a man your project. So, whatever it is that you desire out of a man, he either needs to be there already or he needs to be en route of getting there, and the fruits of that are visible. So, you know, if you're saying, hey, well, you know what, I'm making this much, but I'm attracted to this guy and he's not on this level, how do I strive to turn him into becoming this top earner? That just may not be that man. You know, in some cases it will, and in some cases it won't. But again, by and large, what you see is what you get. Now, how can women help to do a better job of providing that support? And you know, it's so crazy, Donna, because especially when we talk about, you know, finance, This is something that Napoleon Hill talked a lot about in his books. He talked about in a book called Think and Grow Rich, The Law of Success. He always talked about how when he noticed wealthy men, they found a lot of positive energy through their wife that encouraged them. A lot of time what I notice about Black women is like they want to try to groom you from a mom's perspective. But if you want your man to be a better earner, a lot of times you have to function as a cheerleader. So rather than doing it from a perspective of, why ain't you making this? Why ain't you doing it like that? This is, oh, okay. Y'all know I'm about to get into my Bobby Womack. You always telling me about what you ain't got and what she ain't got, but I can't be in two places at one time. Like on one breath, you want a man to spend all this time with you, but then when it's time for him to go and get to the money, you know, you got a problem. So I think the best thing for our ladies to do in general is to just cheer for that man's success. When you notice that there's times where the man that you've chosen is doing the right thing, continue to encourage that behavior, so that way you can be the air under his sails, so that way he'll want to keep going. You know, one of the hardest things a lot of times for men to do is to try to work really hard, but they still get a lot of discouragement from the woman. It's like not satisfied, not encouraging it. The best way to do it is to just be that point of encouragement. And again, you don't want to take a man on as a personal project. The guy that you're getting needs to already have it or be en route to it. So that way, regardless of how things go, you can be satisfied in knowing this is the man that you actually want. Does that make sense? Something from anybody else? Any other questions? Shiloh was about to pop in and say something.
Well, I'm not gonna say I disagree with you, Uzziah. Some I want to add to it. So, because I'm not a marriage counselor like Uzziah is, even though I've been married for years, you know, and I got my own issues, but still, when I'm thinking, when the question is asked, I'm not thinking from a boyfriend, girlfriend, or dating perspective. I'm going to think from a husband and a wife perspective, because I assume that's what you're reaching for. You're reaching to be a wife, so therefore you're going to be underneath a husband. Whose kingdom are you under? Is it your kingdom, or is he bringing you into his kingdom?
God's kingdom.
Yeah, but it's your husband.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm confused. I'm sorry, but
and he said it right. What do you mean? His kingdom, right? The man's kingdom, her God. He's her Lord. He's her king, her God.
Okay.
It's his kingdom. So as his wife, if you want to, you know, the simplest thoughts. If this is my king, my Lord, my husband, then your thought should be on pushing him to make his kingdom better. Whatever you have, whatever you do, should be focused on helping to push his kingdom and the vision that he has. It's only going to benefit you in the long run. You know, so if he's making $50,000 now, okay, he might have a home, he might have a car. That's you know, that's a definitely a good start. If you were to get married, he has a place to bring you into. Y'all have a start. Now he you know, y'all have discussed the vision. You making all this money, and you know, if he had just a little bit more, maybe he could start. He's good at what he does. Maybe that could start his own business. Now you helping build his kingdom. Here, baby. Here's this extra that you know, to put towards the betterment of our house, of your kingdom, because I fall underneath you. Because when they see me, they're gonna call me by you. That's why when you get married, you take on the husband's last name, or you should, because you become a part of his house, his kingdom. What? House of Shiloh. Whoever falls under this roof is underneath that house. So whatever you do, you need to help add to the house of Shiloh. You know, or whatever your husband or whatever your king will be. I'm gonna mute it.
Yeah, I want to add to that. I was gonna say, I'll add to what Uzziah and Shiloh said. Basically, what Shiloh was saying is, hey, if you got it, share your resources, right? He make 50K, you make 150 bands a year, right? You see that you have more substance than he does, right? Okay. Like Uzziah was saying, okay, you see what he has, you see, that he has goals, he has a plan, he's aiming, he's achieving something, right? He wants to achieve something, he wants to go somewhere, right? Part of your job in supporting him is to, even if you're not going to say it, hey, let me take this and give it to you so that you can elevate. It's your job to support him and say, okay, I know I got 150 bands, right? Whatever your resources may be, right? May not always be monetary, but I just gave that as an example. Take that, right? Use that wisdom and say, all right, let me help him, right? Elevate. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Let me my mic.
Hey, I want to add to that. What Brother Elijah said was on point. It's exactly what it is. If they're in a position where they do have more, like back to what Shiloh said, add to his kingdom. You got she got 150, he makes 50, he has 200, and I say he has 200. You are part of he is bringing that in. It's just, I call it what you want, because some people say, oh, he's your pimp. No, it's not your pimp. He is your king. He's your ruler. So whatever you gathered out there as the gatherer, because he's the hunter, you bring that in, and then he's gonna divvy it up and tell you what you're gonna spend with it, how much you're gonna spend, when you're gonna spend it. And that is what it is. Like, and that goes into talking about you're not the boss anymore as far as the title of the show. A boss, babe's good. No, you're not the boss. I'm the boss. So for one, drop that title, because why even want to call yourself an authoritative figure over me? Like, sit down, calm down. I'm the authority. So you got 150, it ain't yours no more. So matter of fact, I might give you I might give you 2,000 a week if I want to give you that, depending on what I want to give you, whatever and if you need it. Here's the thing too: if you got a godly man who has understanding and compassion and wisdom, whatever you need, he's gonna give it to you anyway. Like, that's the crazy thing. A woman is submissive and is willing to use them feminine wiles as it was used earlier, man. We'll whatever. You know what I'm saying? Scripts say the dude will run into a dark cave and go face whatever's there. He'll bring home the spoils to his love. Look, jagged edge, girl, I traded all. That's real. Like, we really don't care about all that stuff anyway. If the woman is with our program and she is with our program, then we don't want to deal with you anyway. So, I mean,
can I ask something? Because I was thinking about, she was talking about the lifestyle. What if she's living this certain lifestyle already? Does your lifestyle align? Does that spending all this money align with the vision of what you're trying to have? Sometimes you might need to be cut down. Oh, you've been living a reckless lifestyle. That's the lifestyle you've been living, and you need to be down at this 50,000 with me, because so you can learn how to manage, this first, because in the vision, we can't be just throwing stuff away frivolously. You say you want, if we're supposed to be generational wealth, setting up things for our children, then why do you want to continue to live this fancy lifestyle? It's going to take some doing for us, as they say, pull your bootstraps up and get it out the mud. It's going to take some doing for us to get it out the mud. If you married me, then you have already said that I trust in your guidance. So if you trust in my guidance, let me guide. Give me all that. I'm gonna put it where it needs to go. I'm gonna guide the whole house to where it is, and I'm going to use you with the value that you have shown to me. Many women say that they know your value. Do you? Do you really know your value? Who told you what your value was? Because your husband's going to tell you what your value is to him. And his value, or how he values you, may not align with how you want to be valued, because you think you should be valued this way, but he's a leader. You're not doing that to be valued. That's not where I value you as the mother. I value you as you're here teaching I value that. But you don't want that. You want me to value you by giving you, not you, but most women want fancy trinkets. They want trinkets and all these. You want you want to be spoon fed. But that can't happen. That can't happen. Mute my mic.
I just would like to say that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm very good with my money, and I'm not frivolous, and I don't waste money at all. At all. I definitely save a lot, but if I want to, it's just what comforts me. I save a lot, but if I want to do that, I can, because I've already established stuff. Does that make sense? So and I'm just talking about basics. Like I want to go to the movies, but he can't afford it. You know what I mean? Like that's very basic. For the most part, I stay in the house. You know why? Because I like to save my money. But but I'm just talking about something basic like that. Or I want to live in a better house. I want to own a few. Or maybe I do. Or who knows? But my point is that when I talk about lifestyle, I mean that. I don't mean that I'm wasteful. So I just want to clear that up.
Most women are wasteful, even though they don't think they're not. It's look at the billions of dollars that's spent wastefully in the hair industry. Look at the billions of dollars that's spent wastefully in the makeup industry and all these other things that is catered to women. That is wasteful. They complain about the state of the community, but yet all that money that you spent could have made the community way better. All that money that you spent, if you were supporting us, and really trusted in the leadership and guiding of the men that you say you want, then we could have been out of this situation. Let us guide. Let us lead you. But don't be mad. You say you want this, take it. But this is where we are. Hey, I'm in this dark cave just like you. Don't stand next to me. Get behind me. Get behind me and step where I step. I'm trying to lead us through here, and I cannot lead us correctly with you stepping next to me. I need to. Hey, it's dark. Just like walking through a minefield. Hey, once I make sure that this place is good, you step exactly where I step. But if you can't be obedient, if you can't even be obedient to listen, then we all gonna fall. We're all gonna die. Something is gonna happen. Mute my mic.
Hey, and I like how you said that basically when I move, you move. Just like that, like nothing else. That's it. So, and it's hard for them to do that. And when I said I agree when he said most women are wasteful, they are. In general, women are wasteful. And here's the crazy thing: my wife is not wasteful, but the nature of women is usually to be wasteful and to be foolish and just kind of move on feelings and instinct. You know what I'm saying? That's what most women are going to do. It's just general sense. But I did want to touch on a comment because I saw it and I had to jump in. The sister said something about why didn't the Most High equip us much better? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't he equip the men much better? For one, you're blaming the Most High. Like you can't be doing that. You can't be turning around saying the Most High didn't do it right. Look, he did equip us better. He gave us the ultimate source of wisdom, knowledge, direction, skills, all of that stuff. He gave us exactly what we needed. He equipped us properly. What happens is the men you've came in contact with and the men you're attracted to, aka a certain type of woman is attracted to a certain type of man, and she's giving us a portion to this man, by the way. You know what I'm saying? This woman, this foolish woman. So the point I'm making is these men weren't equipped. The overwhelming majority were equipped, and they went the my fault, not weren't equipped. They were equipped, and they didn't listen. And then y'all choose these rebellious men that don't listen, that can't follow no authority, can't be directed, and then you mad that he's walking around aimless in circles. You like, man, we done seen the same spot 5 times walking through the forest. That's because he ain't got no direction, and you are cool with him having no direction. You cool with him having no authority over him, no leadership. Hey, here's his leadership, and he should be having someone that can guide him better than he can with that leadership. But we choose not to. You choose the ones that choose not to. So we have to, at some point, take accountability and say, you know what? That's on me. But accountability and women, we know those two things is like oil and water. So, I'm gonna drop the mic.
So I think the key message behind all of this is accountability and choices. If we're willing to be accountable, then that means that we can do better. And if we can make better choices, we can walk away with better results. Shout out to all of y'all that was on tonight. It's been incredible. Ladies, do y'all have any other questions for us before we hop out of here?
I just want to say just really quickly to any of the ladies that might be listening, I definitely agree with what the men just said, and I think that that's why it's important for us ladies to um, bring a man, right, that we might be interested in to our brothers and bring them to our fathers so that they're vetted properly. You know, if you're concerned about, you know, giving this man, you know, your hard earned money and this and that, right? All of your resources, right? You want to make sure that he's a good man. And I know sometimes, I know even for me, it's hard for us to see that, right? But only a good man can really spot another good man. So I think that it's important to vet that man of interest through your brother, your cousin, your dad, to make sure that when he takes your resources, he's going to take care of you.
I'm telling y'all, man, Shemaya is talking with some sense. Don't worry, ladies. Don't worry. All y'all got to do is book y'all session. I'm going to get you right too. Donna Don, book a session. I get you right, sister. You got the bag, so this shouldn't be a problem. Listen, my consultations are only $97. So it will go very far towards helping you ladies in achieving the goals that you ultimately want to accomplish. As Shemaya will tell you, when you come, it's not just about business consulting per se. If you want to get my counsel in marriage, as well as other things, I'm open to that. So let me put the link out there real quick for y'all, just for any who would be interested. Okay. I know the brother Rick has consulted with me in the past. I think that y'all would get a lot out of that. Anything else from anyone else before we get out of here?
Yeah. Hey,
I
that's
just
Sister
want to say
Shemaya
thank
ready.
you. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's Sister Shemaya ready, man. She ready. Lord willing for that sister, man.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm going to be looking to you and Roy the chef and other men in Israel to help support the process of our lovely sister Shemaya getting a husband. Shout out to that. Shout out to that. All right. So, Donna Don, there was something you was going to say?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys. Of course, clearly I don't come from the same, you know, background or religious beliefs as you guys, but you guys have informed me, and you guys all seem to be, you know, knowledgeable, good Black men. And so thank you for this. I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you do want to check us out, feel free to check us out at True Spirit of Christ. I'm the head pastor of that church. So feel free to, you know, see more of the perspective on things like marriage, and you know, everything else. But thanks so much for tapping in with us on the Uzziah show. Shout out to all of y'all for being on. Man, I got nothing but love for y'all, and I think this was something that was very beneficial to the culture. Thank y'all so much, and I hope y'all have a wonderful night.
Shalom, shalom.
Peace, peace, peace.
Shalom, shalom.
Well, thank y'all so much once again for tapping in with us online. Really appreciate a lot of y'all's feedback. I felt like it was a very productive talk. And I'm just glad that y'all were willing to have the conversation. I want to do more shows like this, y'all, because I come to find that this has been very engaging. You know, as much as I love to talk about personal finance and business, there are also times where I do want us to have these kinds of talk also, because the goal of us having our finances in order is so that way we can have a family. The goal of us having, you know, these businesses is so that we can create generational wealth. So don't be surprised if from time to time I do a series talking about this type of stuff, because it all works hand in hand at the end of the day. Like I always say, my job is to help you get out of debt. so you can create generational wealth. And y'all know, if you get a brother like Shiloh on your team that'll tell you how wasteful women are, then hopefully y'all will make sure that you get out of debt as quickly as possible, so that way you can break the curse. Listen, y'all, if y'all have yet to do so, please make sure that y'all subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you can receive an alert whenever I do another broadcast. Typically, I do these shows 6 days a week, all the way from Sunday through Friday. I've been doing a lot of shows at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time that may end up being the norm. Okay, make sure that y'all are rocking with me tomorrow. And shout out to all the sponsors of tonight's broadcast. I want to give a big thanks to I'm pulling up all the sponsors. There was a lot of comments on this chat, so it's taking me longer to pull up the super chats. Shout out to Sheer Queen once again for that $5 sponsorship. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, my sister. Appreciate you for always being on. Appreciate your input. Also appreciate the donations. Really goes a long way. Thank you so much for your support. Also, want to give a shout out. Let me see who we got sponsoring next. Shout out to my sister Pecloria. Open this thing up right at the top of the broadcast with a $5 sponsorship. Now, y'all know what's so crazy? I got to say this to my brothers that's in the house. Isn't it so crazy that we just spent the past 3 hours talking about how we could get support from our women, and the women are the only ones that donated to the broadcast? Don't y'all find that interesting? How we went on such a rant about keeping this channel going, and yet our sisters are the ones that are doing the sponsorship. So got to give a shout out to Pecloria. Got to give a shout out to Shaqueen, and I also got to give a shout out to Paige that made that $25 sponsorship. Brothers, where y'all at? We talk about how we hold each other down, man. Put your money where your mouth is. All you got to do in order to donate is tap that dollar icon directly below. Your sponsorships will go a very long way. Listen, there's a lot of brothers that are always on here to help. Brothers like Yasha Allah, brothers that are on here like Juice, Brian Leaks, Brian Chikami, a lot of Roy the Chef. A lot of you brothers do hold the thing down, man. So shout out to all of y'all. Looks like Paige will be the official sponsor for tonight's broadcast, man. Thank y'all for all that y'all do. Listen, man, I love y'all. We out of here, man. If you want to join my program, Your Breakthrough Year, now is the time. Your Breakthrough Year is a 12-month exclusive coaching program where I show you how to have the most productive year of your life. This is where I show you how to master your time, your money, and your energy, so that way you can start operating like some of the most high performance people in the world. Okay, I'm giving you a free trial. All you got to do is click that link in the comments below, and then y'all will be good. Listen, man, have a good night. May you have a blessed week, and I'll see you on tomorrow night's broadcast. Until next time.